Hello, welcome to this update for Europe. So let's see what's happening. There's like Storm Amy coming towards Europe tomorrow into Saturday, and it's the remnants of Hurricane Umberto in the Atlantic. So he has now turned into a powerful extratropical cyclone, and models already have some very damaging wind gusts spots in northwestern Europe. And then we also have a system in the Balkans now with a lot of snow and heavy rain happening for that low pressure system. And then shows Friday, still some snow in the mountains there in Romania, in the Balkans, and some snow in Norway as Storm Amy comes as well with damaging winds. So this goes, the cold front might stretch across most of northern France, northern Germany, spots near the Netherlands, not areas, and then thus show the final remnants of the cold front by Sunday might become a low pressure system near Italy and the Mediterranean again with more rain and snow in the Balkans into next week. So we are watching that as well. So please be aware. But especially like Storm Amy coming might bring some scary wind gusts. So the European does show that there are like two systems. There's one in front of it now with some strong winds across Norway and the North Sea, but there's Amy tomorrow afternoon. So this is about like 6, 5 p.m. tomorrow. Shows like some very high gusts in Ireland, even like 133 km per gust on the European model, spots in the UK and like more areas there as this arrives. And then into Friday night might get stronger across Scotland, especially these areas across these islands, northwestern Scotland, might even get close to 170 km per gust, depending on how this unfolds. So if you are in any of those areas there, please make some preparations for some big time damaging wind gusts. So please stay safe. Spots central UK might be pretty breezy across London as well, in all the areas. So shows like Friday to Saturday most of northern Scotland, some very damaging winds, and the wind field of this is incredible. Like the gusty winds go all the way from like the Arctic Ocean to northern France. So the wind field is giant, but Norway might get hit as hard as Scotland. So show like some 142 km per gust, like in the mountains in Norway and also on the coast as this arrives. So please be careful, especially if it's snowing at the same time, because this might bring snow to northern or like southern Norway. So some blizzard conditions in the mountains. So please be careful. And in all of northwestern Europe, the rough surf and the big waves from this. So stay safe across Denmark, spots of Belgium, Netherlands. And then into Saturday afternoon, the winds might penetrate further into France and Belgium, those areas, the Netherlands, even Germany, in a few spots. But then to Saturday night still shows a lot in central northern Sweden and southeastern Iceland. The low pressure itself is still offshore in the North Sea. So this goes by Sunday morning, shows one part of it gets cut off in the Mediterranean with some strong gusts, and the rest of the winds stay in the North Sea. And then Sunday until Monday, that disturbance forms again in the Mediterranean across spots of Italy near Spain, and then Sunday to Monday there into Greece again in the Balkans on October 7th and beyond. So please be aware those areas. And right now, Thursday does show these gusty winds across the Balkans with the storm system now along the Black Sea, Romania, more areas too. So stay safe and shows like the icon for the storm tomorrow shows this comes some very damaging winds in Ireland, especially on the west coast. And then this is still by like noon to early afternoon and shows later to Scotland close to 135 km per gust. It's not as strong as the European, but it's very strong. The icon gets stronger across Norway, like 148 km per gust, and later into Saturday morning shows like even like 173 in some localized spots. And also like strong winds near central northern France, most of southeastern Iceland, some damaging gusts, more areas. So Saturday into Sunday, and then it starts in the Mediterranean at first on Sunday. Might be some very strong winds to affect like northeastern Spain, the Tramontana winds in southern France, near like the Mediterranean, but especially southern France to get hit harder probably. It shows in the Alps, a few spots stronger. Sunday this goes, and like still kind of gusty in the Mediterranean, but the disturbance goes towards Greece and those areas with more rain into next week. So be aware in those areas. Now for some more high resolution models in the UK for this storm show like the UK model still some gusty winds today from this system now into Norway, so be careful. But Friday comes the real thing. So shows like Friday afternoon, close to 128 km per gust in Ireland, shows like this goes across northern Scotland, some areas even 145, even stronger in the ocean. And then this goes even shows like in Inverness and other areas there to 140 km per gust, 118 in the lower elevations, and the high elevations stronger. So please be careful, even gusty near London, but especially further north. Shows isolated spots in Norway to 182 km per gust, especially in the high elevations. So stay safe and please be careful, especially like in the Faroe Islands as well. Saturday shows strong winds all over the place, in spots of most of the UK, very gusty, spots of northern France, central France, in these areas. And then Saturday into Sunday starts winding down, but still Sunday in the Alps, a few strong winds, and Scotland and Norway still remains a little bit. So stay safe in those areas. Please be mindful of this system. And there's Hurricane Imelda in the Atlantic now. It might not be as strong as Humberto, but does show it approaching later next week. But yesterday the models were all over the place, like bringing Imelda back south into the Atlantic. So that is still unsure. But please be careful with Humberto or Storm Amy coming. So please stay safe. Shows here like 5 days, especially across northern Scotland into Norway. Shows some 191 to 200 millimeters in those areas near the like Western Highlands, and shows across southwestern Norway close to 200 as well. So these areas get like rain and snow, but especially a small threat of flooding across the UK into like Norway and some more rain in Ireland. So stay safe. Shows like most of Germany might have some rain, the northernmost portion of Spain, central northern France, and a few showers in the Mediterranean. Nothing too impressive, but a few showers. And those low pressure systems in Greece might bring, like, especially by next week, some 141 millimeters in more areas, Greece and Turkey. So shows, if I put this until Saturday, shows spots to some 29 millimeters, Romania some 84. But if I put this until next Wednesday, alright, it shows close to 100 in Greece and even more. So be aware and stay safe in those areas. And does rise a little bit in Norway later into October 7th and 8th as well. So be aware. Please be careful. Shows more rain across Scandinavia scattered around. So the snow shows a big chunk of southern Norway will get snow from this, and Oslo not really, but most areas to the north. So shows even like some 56 centimeters. The UK is not really showing anything, but in Norway and Sweden you have more. So be careful, like central northern Sweden as well, and the Alps and the Balkans. The Balkans is already very active, like even 65 millimeters. The European, most of Kosovo into Macedonia, spots in Bosnia, Romania, and the Alps, a little bit in the Alps as well. So be aware. But the Pyrenees still kind of quiet. And later, like until mid-October, doesn't change so much, but we'll see what happens. So be aware in those areas. There's the GFS, most of the Balkans, and into the Alps, some snow. The icon, much less than the European, but still shows snow, and spots of Norway and Sweden. So stay safe. The systems, especially like the strong winds, might cause damage, and especially on the coast and in the highlands. So stay safe and some flooding and like snow as well. So be careful. Still shows those cold temperatures in Eastern Europe, that cold air mass and below average temperatures in the Alps as well, in the Balkans. So Thursday into Friday, especially in the mornings, some more areas of negative temperatures. So be careful across most of the Alps into the Balkans and like Romania, even central Italy there. So during the day, warms up in the 20s in the lowlands, but during the night does show a few spots colder into this weekend, especially like Saturday morning shows here close to -1 in most of like the Balkans and through Croatia and other areas. So stay safe. During the day, it does warm up in southern Spain and Portugal, especially because of regional high pressure this weekend. So like with some warmer temperatures in the northeast, some low 20s as well, and then does cool down some during the night. So be aware in those areas. And after this, I'm not seeing any major cold outbreaks, but still watching. So be aware in those areas. Does show here like the European for these temperatures. So there's the deep trough across the Balkans and those areas, and the ridge across Spain and Portugal, some slightly above average temperatures. There comes Storm Amy, like tremendous low pressure there in the North Sea Saturday. This goes in this. And throughout next week, the show still possible above average temperature spots Central Western Europe, but still watching. So be aware. The GFS shows as well like a similar thing, but it will take time to load now. So stay safe. Please be careful. Those areas. Let's see, like, I bet they already have some weather warnings as well, especially in Ireland, those areas. It might be some high warnings needed tomorrow in case the wind gusts get stronger. Some warnings across Norway already and much of the Balkans. So be aware, even some snow and ice advisories in the roads there in the mountains. So stay safe and warn others. Be careful and check the description for like the Google Translate link with different languages. So stay safe. Please be careful.